There are over a dozen different home builders in the Sarasota Lakewood Ranch areas. Which ones should you avoid? Which ones can you actually afford? And what location are each of them building in? Let's find out. Well, what's up YouTube family? Before I dive into this controversial video, let me tell you where you can skip ahead and get all of the facts that you really want. I've created a PDF download that I've linked in the description below for you to download that tells you where each of these builders are building, what tier they're in, and how much they are actually selling the homes for. Today, I'm ranking the most popular builders in the area into 4 different categories. Tier 1 is going to be the bottom tier, and tier 4 is going to be the cream of the crop, the best ones. Now, obviously, as you go up in tiers, the home prices get a little bit more expensive each one that you go up. But even if you cannot afford a tier 3 or tier 4 builder and you still want a quality product, there are a few things that you can do to ensure that you actually get what you paid for. So stick around because I'm going to talk about that in literally just a few minutes. I'm also going to talk about the bad reviews you may have read online with some of these builders. So tier 1 builders are going to consist of your mass production builders. In our area, these would be D.R. Horton and Lennar. D.R. Horton advertises themselves as America's #1 builder. Well, that just means that they sell the most product, like they have the most closings. And that's about all it means. D.R. Horton and Lennar both build spec homes or move-in ready homes. There's not ever going to be going to the design center and selecting your flooring and your countertops or finishes. It is a spec home. What you got is what you got. So your house is likely going to look very similar to others within the community. Because of this approach, they are able to mass order all of their materials and keep their production costs down. D.R. Horton is unique because they're the only builder in today's video that builds their second floor out of solid block concrete rather than wood frame. Lennar doesn't necessarily have any unique factors about them, in my opinion, other than the price. They've had some issues with attempting to close on a home that wasn't built in the correct spot on the home site. Yeah, that created an issue because they wanted the homeowner just to sign an addendum saying that they were going to credit them something like $20,000 for their error, which you should never sign something like this unless you run it by an attorney. This was a story that I had heard from an attorney telling me about a situation they were brought into. Another story that I've heard of with a Lennar house was that a homeowner bought the property and they closed on it, and then they lived in it for about 2 years, and then they went to go sell it. They got it under contract, and then the new owner did a home inspection only to find out that the builder never actually put insulation in the attic. So now the original homeowner, the one who's trying to sell his house, they had to pay to have it done in order to actually sell the property. Stories like these lead to bad reviews online and bad experiences. So before I continue, let me tell you 4 things that you, a buyer, can do to make sure that these things don't happen to you. Number 1 is use a realtor, for crying out loud. My team is the top new construction team in the Sarasota area, and guess what? We do not charge a buyer's commission. We are 100% free to you to use our services. Number 2, you can hire an attorney. Many attorneys in our area, they work on a flat fee, so it's not like a $200 or $300 per hour. It's just a flat fee to review all of the paperwork for that specific new construction property. And they're going to make sure that the builder, they don't try to close on your home with open permits, or make sure that your home is built in the right spot on the lot, like we just heard about. Number 3 is do a pre-drywall home inspection. This is when an inspector goes through the entire house's plumbing, electrical, framing, prior to any drywall going up. See, back in 2022, I saw a lot of issues with mold in roof trusses because builders, they would order them because they had all these supply chain issues, and then they would sit on the ground. These trusses would sit on the ground for 4 to 6 months prior to getting installed in a house. And spoiler alert, Florida, it's wet, it's rainy, so when that wood just sits on the ground, what do you think happens to it? So that's why you want to get a pre-drywall inspection done. And number 4 is do a final home inspection with a sewer scope. This is when an inspector goes through everything within the home, the roof, the attic. They make sure that there's insulation in the attic, right? Just like that other homeowner did not. They also take a camera and they scope the sewer to make sure that there's no construction debris within it, because there's nothing worse than moving into your house and then 6 months or a year or 2 years later having a water backup because of construction debris that was in the pipes that could have been removed prior to you closing on it. Moving on to tier number 2. I've got 6 builders that I put into tier 2. You've got Taylor Morrison, DeVoster/Pulte, kind of the same company, MI Homes, David Weekley, Madame Homes, and Neil Communities. These builders will all have inventory options as well as give you the ability to build a home from the ground up. There are specific floor plans that you get to go and choose from, and then you'll be modifying those floor plans by selecting some of their predetermined structural options. What I mean by that is if you want to have a larger patio and extend your roof line, probably an option that you can do. You want to make an office a bedroom, probably a predetermined structural option that you can do. Then you're gonna go to the design center and you're gonna select all of your finishes, your cabinetry, your flooring, all the pretty stuff. And then you're gonna wait 10 to 12 months for that home to be completed. Tier 2 pricing can range from around $500,000 to over $1 million. Tier 3, these are what I consider to be semi-custom builders. And I've got 7 that are on my list right now. Homes by Town, Neil Signature, Toll Brothers, Sam Rogers, Homes by West Bay, Coulter, and Cardell Homes. They have specific floor plans for you to choose from, but some of them, maybe not all, but some of them will allow you to modify them if they can. And what I mean by that is if there's a wall here or there and you want to kind of adjust it or move it, they can do that. If you want to add a 3rd car garage because the home site can fit it, they can do that, and they'll tell you what the cost is going to be. Tier 3 builders, they're typically going to have higher end finishes, and oftentimes you'll find that they have standard 12 to 14 foot ceilings. Now, obviously, it all comes with a price, and Tier 3 builders are likely going to be from the $1 million and up option. And now we have Tier 4 builders. These are your fully customizable builders. Here are the 4 that are on my list right now. You have Anchor Homes, John Cannon, AR Homes, and Lee Weatherington. These builders will build to the moon and back for you. They've got different floor plans to give you a starting point, but then you can modify them to literally whatever it is that you want. The only restriction is whatever the home site can allow, obviously, and whatever HOA regulations allow within the community that you're building in. Pricing is gonna be from the $2 million to over $6 million, and the timeline to build these is gonna be around 18 months, maybe up to 24 months to build. Custom home builders also use different contracts and deposit structures than what the other 3 tiers did that we just talked about. And my team, we can explain that more in detail if you fall into this category of how those specific deposit structures are going to work. Now, overall, many of these builders are building all over Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Venice, Welland Park. Honestly, they're really all over the west coast of Florida. So what I've done is broken them down into a PDF, and here's what the first page of that PDF looks like, just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And you can download that in the description below, as well as schedule a call with my team to start helping your family out today, or go ahead and fill out the buyer questionnaire below. It asks a little bit more information about your specific situation, so my team, we can begin working for you immediately. And keep in mind, as I said at the beginning of this video, we do not charge a buyer's commission, so let us help you during this process. So if you've made it this far in the video, there's a chance that you're pretty interested in new construction houses. Well, I've made a video of my top new construction communities for this year. Go ahead and watch that one next. Or if you want to know how we got some of the best new construction deal this year, go ahead and watch this video right here. But make sure to reach out so my team can get you on our calendar, because people reach out pretty regularly and our spots do fill up pretty quickly. So we want to make sure that we are able to help you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.